Howdy, hey bays. Evie, Aswiti here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how to be confident in your natural hair in a world full of Instagram baddies. This is going to be a video that I hold nothing back. I truly think that a lot of Black women don't like their hair in its natural state because they think they're not going to be fitting into the aesthetic of the IG baddie or being a bad bee. And I think that is something in 2024 needs to stop. So I'm going to show you ways of how I became confident wearing my natural hair and how I defined what it meant to be a baddie for me in 2024. So if that interests you, then keep on watching. I've been natural for about 10 years. This is my second big chop. After my second big chop, I kind of got over my obsession with length because shrinkage and all that extra stuff is a thing. And nowadays, how I wear my hair, it's really just unshrunken. I washed my hair earlier this morning and I just let it air dry for as long as I can, and then I diffused it with a blow dryer. And then before I got on camera today, I just fluffed up a bit more so I could have it have like a bit more of a shape. That's pretty much it as far as like my hair. One of the first tips that I did to get used to my hair being one, short, and two, curly, kinky, coily, like type 4 texture, I got used to it, is that I just decided to wear my hair out more, and I gave up on the idea of being super perfect looking all the time. The idea of being perfect is something I've struggled with, and I think that's just what comes with being like an African girly. If you're African girly, you know what I'm talking about. I think being perfect does root in how we present ourselves and our image, and that can get exhausting. So I got tired of doing that, and I just decided that my hair health is more important for me, and I actually want to feel beautiful with how I look when I wake up in the morning versus having this like face dysmorphia, hair dysmorphia. So I just jumped in cold turkey with just wearing my hair out and not caring what people think of what I thought they would think with me wearing my natural hair. So that was my tea kettle saying good night. I actually have like tea like right here, but I'm not gonna sip it on camera because I just feel like it's rude. You get me? But I did it before in the past, so I'm like, why not do it again? Maybe like later on. Oh my God, speaking of tea, I met a subscriber the other day in Houston. Her name is Eva. Hi, Eva, if you're watching. Thank you so much for being subscribed to my channel. You were so freaking sweet, and I was shook that you recognized me, which is weird because I feel like every time someone sees me in public and they say they love my content, I'm just always so shook. I think it's like the humility in me because I'm like, dang, like I'm still just getting started. So happy to meet my subscribers in real life, and I always love like being able to know the image and likeness of like who my audience is. So thanks, Eva, for making me a lovely, lovely cup of tea and also just being a beautiful soul. So I'll see you around. Back to being confident in natural hair. I started wearing my hair out more. I started just not caring. Then I realized people would compliment me in my hair. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I just thought it was like, maybe they'll just be nice because like, I feel like I look like a child with natural hair back then. And I was like, I look like a kid, like this, probably just saying that to be nice. And then it just became more and more and more people complimenting me. So I was like, oh, okay, like maybe this is it. But I also noticed that I wasn't getting as much attention from guys and stuff when I would go out, like clubbing or like other like nightlife type activities. And I noticed that I wasn't really getting much attention from the type of guys that I thought I wanted attention from. And it kind of discouraged me a little bit because it made me feel like I had to be a certain type of look to get attention from guys. And then I realized that was something that inspired me to make this video about being confident in a world full of IG baddies, because in certain environments and from certain types of men, looking like an IG baddie, which is more of that aesthetic of looking very dare I say, suggestive in your appearance, you know, very much oozing sensual energy that's giving baddie vibes, in my opinion, that's kind of associated with like, you know, the long weaves, the very laid wigs, straight hair, silky hair, hair that's not yours, very heavy makeup, pretty much just transforming yourself for something traditionally that was meant for special occasions or like stage makeup, or if you're like, you know, a type of person that can handle certain looks, but not like the everyday natural look. And I think with natural hair, definitely it's something that stands out. And in the real world, outside the internet, people like natural. That's just a given. I didn't make it up. Baby Jesus did when he created me and you. It's one of those things where I just had to come to terms that I was not going to attract a certain type of guy anymore with my wigs and weaves when I wore my natural hair. At least attract for the wrong reasons. Because usually in like nightlife settings or like club settings, guys are just there just to kind of be lucky for the night. And that's not the type of time I'm on. So that's another thing that I realized that I had to like get rid of the notion of that to gain my confidence. Another thing that I use to gain my confidence is I had to understand that the more I saw myself in the mirror and looked at myself in the mirror, I had to remember and I had to actually discover really that you don't really know how beautiful you are until other people look at you or you see yourself from the lens of when you see someone that's beautiful and they don't know they're beautiful, you kind of look at them as like, wow, this person is so beautiful. And then when you compliment them, they might be in shock or kind of shy because they may not see themselves as beautiful. So I started to see myself that way. Like, I'm used to seeing myself. I'm used to my nose. I'm used to my lips. I'm used to my eyebrows. I'm used to my eyelashes. I'm used to my skin color, right? Which is a whole other video, skin color. But let me know if you want me to do that type of video in the comments below if that interests you. Like, I know what I look like, but sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror, you actually begin to get used to how your nose, eyes, lips, edges, ears, you get used to how that looks. But someone else seeing you for the first time, you are stunning. Like, you are something to be admired, you know? And I think with hair, in a world full of straight hair, plastic grids on foreheads, and weaves, and mind you, I'm not hating on these things. I too had plastic grids on my foreheads, and that's a thing. Like, that was a time that I was in, you know what I mean? I don't know if I can go to plastic grid life anymore, but it's something that I now realize that it was inhibiting me from loving my hair as it was, you know, growing out my scalp. So I had to start seeing myself as like, dang, like someone seeing me for the first time, they're probably stunned at how beautiful I am. And that's not something that's gonna be a reason for you to be arrogant or to be prideful, but it's a reason for you to be like, in a world full of straight hair, and I'm the only race that has this type of hair in the world, 7, maybe 8 billion people at this point. Why not wear my hair as it is and stand out? Just think about it. Why not stand out by wearing your hair as is? You're the only one in this life that has hair that can defy gravity. And I'm not trying to give Hotep vibes in this video. This is not a Hotep channel. But I'm just trying to say people are astonished by our hair. People are envious of our hair. Our hair is beautiful. And when you embrace that, when you love that, I promise you, you will be treated so differently. You will be feeling like, dang, I have the courage to be who I am and wear my hair and style it, even haircut it in a way that's gonna flatter my face shape, flatter my style, all the things, you know? So like, I think with the natural hair movement, it's ebbed and flowed throughout the years a lot. I think right now it's like the straight natural movement and micro locks movement. I think those are like two hairstyles that are like super duper popular right now, and I'm glad because it's like giving the diversity of our hair. But also, I think with me, I wear my hair in an afro and a wash and go um, majority of the time. I think that is a hairstyle that I don't really see a lot of people embrace because I'm not manipulating my curl pattern. I'm not putting it in a twist out. I'm not doing those things, right? And there's nothing wrong with like doing a twist out or doing like manipulating your curl pattern. But I do think that in my last video that I talked about with natural hair salons, a lot of issues with natural hair and people getting used to it is that the manageability and the styling of it and relearning your hair. And I say relearning because we've always had our hair, so it's not like a thing where we have to learn, like it's a foreign thing. Like our hair is a part of us, it grows out of us. And I found that for wash and goes, especially since I wash my hair daily, it just works for me. Like my hair cooperates, it's moisturized, and I love my natural curl pattern, you know? I do think that for people that have patience to wash their hair once a week and do like a flat twist or a bantu knot out or a braid out, I think that's a good approach. But for some folks, they're not used to managing their hair that often because they're used to wearing a wig or wearing weaves for like 1 to 3 months. So they don't have to like deal with their natural hair often. It's just like the leave out or washing the wig or doing dry shampoo or something to take away grease. Those are like things so far that help me understand that I'm okay with leaving the house with my hair like this without feeling insecure. So that's like kind of part one of like how I feel confident in a world full of Instagram baddies. Part two of how I felt confident of being in a world of Instagram baddies was that I had to start following people and looking up to people that wore their natural hair out. And hear me out, like growing up, I didn't like look at my mom wear weaves and wigs. She always wore her real hair. So I think that also made me feel like, okay, like I can wear my real hair. But I had my hair relaxed, you know, and I saw relaxed hair growing up. So I kind of always wore my real hair majority of my life, outside of course braids, but it was relaxed. So when I decided to go natural, it was a lot of unlearning I had to do, and I had to find inspiration of people that had afros that I thought was similar to my hair texture. And I went through my own journey, I went through my own phase, and I think I got to a point where I accepted my hair as it is. And I started seeing other girlies that were confident and wearing their hair in different hairstyles, even changing my makeup a bit because my features are more prominent since my hair is short and not long. And I think like seeing girlies that influenced me to be confident in my hair helped me be confident in that too. And I think I myself am being an inspiration for people in my real life and you all today to embrace their hair and to be like a role model for that. And it doesn't mean I'll never wear weave again, but it just means that you're never gonna see me and meet me and know me and connect with me and be like, you know what, I've never seen Evie's real hair before. Never. There's girlies today that know me and they've never seen me in a weave. They've never seen me in a wig. Like, they'll have to look at my old videos to see that. You know what I mean? Like, they've always seen me wear my real hair. And that's because I just think it took a gradual pace for me to get to that point. And, you know, I want to make a disclaimer about me titling this video about, you know, being confident and wearing your hair in a world for Instagram baddies, because I think the Instagram baddie is such a homogenous look. And there's nothing wrong with being homogenous in a sense, but I think being homogenous takes away individuality. I think being homogenous and being an IG baddie can be something that, when it comes to natural hair, it can be an excuse for why people wear weave and braids, of why they don't wear their natural hair. But at the same time, being a baddie does kind of mean that you have to look a certain way, or and if your hair isn't a certain way, then you ain't it, baby, you know? And I don't like that. I don't like that. Granted, I have some beautiful, gorgeous friends in real life with weave or no weave, but I have beautiful, gorgeous friends in real life that wear their natural hair. And I just think when it comes to this culture of Instagram baddies, it's really pushing a culture of like perfectionism, pushing the artificial look as more beautiful than the natural look. And I also think that being natural is beautiful, being natural is amazing, but being a baddie is amazing too. You know what I mean? Like, I just think for me, I just want to see more balance. I want to see the representation of the black woman on the internet to be balanced in how we look. I don't want to see two girls wearing their natural hair and eight of us wearing fake hair 24/7, 365. I want to have a like balancing of the scales because right now it's looking like IG baddie and then like it's heavier on this side of the scale but very light on this side of the scale. Like I want it to like equal out. You know, I want it to be something where I want to see real edges again. I want to see real hair density, real scalps, real things again. I want to smell clean hair again. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm cutting up, but sometimes I'll be past somebody and they got their weave in or a wig in, and I can smell their hair, and I'm like, gosh, I wish a shampoo was in order for them this morning. And that's not to say I'm anti. I just think I'm just feeling enlightened. And I just want everyone else to feel enlightened, you know? I want it to be where we are also put in a place where if a girly wants to wear her natural hair out to the club or out to a wedding or a very special event, she could wear it and she feels like $1,000,000. I don't want a girly to feel like she can't wear her natural hair to that woman's event. I don't want that. I want it to be where we are doing our hair and loving it, not for the male gaze, but for ourselves. And trust and believe, if you are wearing your hair for the real gaze, ain't nothing wrong with it because I'm all for the girlies being partnered up, married, and in healthy relationships. But a lot of the times, a lot of men be tolerating your look. Like, you could be a very beautiful woman and he could still be hate that wig on your head. I'm just keeping it a bucky. Like, he could still hate that wig on your head and still be like, you're beautiful, your body's nice, you have a good head on your shoulders, but I really hate that plastic on your forehead. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Don't come for me in the comments. If you do come for me, we can agree to disagree. But it's a thing. And I don't know any man that's going to tell us otherwise, you know? Granted, I don't think it matters that much because men are men and they'll tolerate whatever because we are the prize as women. But I do think that it says a lot if no one's ever seen your real hair before. And it says a lot that a protective style is your 365-day hairstyle. It says a lot that if your only natural hairstyle is you in braids all the time, but your real hair doesn't see daylight, that says a lot, you know? And I think if we see more of that representation outside of a certain like stereotype of natural hair, then I think it's gonna kind of move the needle a little bit, you know? I remember when I used to wear my natural hair out for the first time and it was much bigger, I got a lot of like black power type of vibes from people and they just saw my hair as a political statement. When in reality it was just like, I just love my hair and I just want to embrace it. I just think with the combination of me being dark skinned and my hair being this way, like people thought I was trying to be like, you know, extra hotepi and like Black Panther movement and like super for the blacks, but that wasn't the case. I laugh now because I'm just like, some people really associate like natural hair as like a political statement, but it's not, you know? So I think with being natural and being confident, You really just have to make a decision. You have to make a decision that I'm not going to wake up one day and grow straight hair out my scalp. I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Until we get to that point where we accept that what we have growing out of our scalp is a part of us and it has a function of beauty, we will advance a lot further, I think. I think so. We will be able to stand out with the God given texture that we have, and we will be able to be baddies of our own. You know what I mean? I think like the little kids today, when they grow up, it's going to be a beautiful thing seeing more natural hair, you know? Natural hair and afros and curly hair doesn't only belong to biracial people where it's acceptable for them to wear their hair out the way it is because of like the certain texture it is or being a looser texture. But I think we're coming into a world where our natural hair, our real edges, our actual aesthetic of looking like our race, like me looking like a quintessential Black woman that is from Africa and I am African. I just think it's really beautiful and it's really courageous in this day where you may have to sacrifice being approached by a guy if you're used to being approached by a lot of guys when you wear your natural hair, you know? It comes with unlearning what we're hiding behind to achieve a certain level of validation. But when you validate yourself, that's when everything in this life validates you and validates your reasoning for just being who you are. My name is Evie, Sweetie. Let me know your thoughts about this. Do you feel confident in your natural hair? Do you feel like the Instagram baddie aesthetic and how everyone wants to look the same is hurting or helping you on your journey to be natural? Let me know in the comments below. You can do whatever you want with your hair. It does grow back, so it's really not that deep at the end of the day, but it is that deep if it comes from a place of self-hate. So let me know your topics and questions down below that you want me to do next in a future video. Once again, my name is Evie, a sweetie. Thank you so much for watching my video. Always remember that you glow for a living because you're lit from within, beyond skin deep. And I will see you in my next video. See you. Bye.